Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new match preview here on the channel. My name is James, and today we're going to go ahead and sit down and talk to you guys about Reading's upcoming fixture against Wrexham. The Royals are off to the north of Wales, and this will be a game between two teams that have had complete opposite directions for the last 2 years. Wrexham have had an absolutely fantastic time under their new ownership. The faces of that ownership is Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. Rob McElhenney, most famous for being Mac in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and Ryan Reynolds is obviously a worldwide known actor, most famously playing Deadpool. But they've had an absolutely fantastic time as of recent. They've made really smart signings, they've made really smart decisions when it comes to staff, and they've had an absolutely brilliant time. Back-to-back promotions have seen them go from the National League to League One in just 2 seasons. Phil Parkinson is the manager, and he's no stranger to Reading fans. Parky is an absolute Reading legend, played over 300 times for the club, and will maybe go down as a Wrexham legend. When you take a look at his record, it's absolutely fantastic. 168 matches managed in charge, 104 wins, 36 draws and 28 losses, sees him at a win percentage of 61.9%. Now, we spoke a little bit about transfers for Wrexham, and we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the key players they've brought in this season. Now, just taking a look, Ollie Rathbone from Rotherham is a central midfielder who is a very good player that they've brought in. They bought him for a fee. It was around £500,000. George Dobson is someone as well who's another central midfielder they've brought in. He's come from Charlton, and for me, that's the key standout signing this summer. For me, Dobson really was probably going to go to a championship side if he was going to move this summer, but the attraction of Wrexham has seen him go to Wales. Personally, I did think George Dobson would either stay at Charlton and continue with the project under Nathan Jones, or go to the championship, as I think there was a few teams sniffing around for him. But he's ended up going to Wrexham, and listen, I don't know if it was the money or if it's the project that he's gone ahead and joined for, but Dobson is the man that Wrexham wanted, and he's the man that Wrexham have got. Another one of the players that has signed for Wrexham, he also came in on a free transfer, is Arthur Okonkwo. He's come in from Arsenal, he's a goalkeeper, and he actually is familiar with Wrexham. Spent last season there and was a part of the promotion-winning side from League 2. Dan Scarr was another one that just stood out to me. He's a centre-back formerly of Plymouth, obviously got experience in the Championship. He hasn't actually started a game yet this season, though. Same with Ollie Rathbone. He hasn't started just yet, just one appearance off the bench, but it's only been 2 games. So, yeah, maybe just a couple of games in to get him up to speed with the rest of the squad. Now, talking about them couple of games, Wrexham started off the season with a 3-2 win over Wycombe. That was at the Racecourse Ground, and in their last fixture had a 0-0 draw against Bolton away from home live on Sky. Now, when watching that game against Bolton, I thought Bolton were the much better side, but defensively, I thought Wrexham did all right. They did concede 5 chances in the match, but when you take a look at the performance by Arthur Okonkwo, that's the reason why he's probably ended up going back to Wrexham, and the reason that they've given him, and I'm not going to speculate anything, but I expect it will be high wages for League One, as look, he had an absolutely outstanding game. Now, the defensive side of things might be a little bit more poorer, obviously conceding 2 goals against Wycombe. Something that stood out for me was that in both games so far this season, Phil Parkinson's side have had less possession than the opposition side, and they've also given up 30 shots across just 2 matches. If I was a Wrexham fan, that would worry me a little bit. 30 shots across 2 games is quite a lot to concede, and listen, it obviously creates chances for the opposition. Okonkwo can only do so much in goal, and hopefully for Reading fans, that won't be the case this Saturday. Now, defensively, I'm talking about their worries, but going forward, Wrexham have a very good attack. Their attacking threats at the moment are Jack Marriott and Elliot Lee. Main man Paul Mullen is currently out. He's missing through an injury, so he won't be involved this Saturday. But Jack Marriott is someone that Reading fans will be very familiar with. He's obviously spent a lot of his career in the Championship and League One. Joined last season from Fleetwood down in League 2 for Wrexham. He started the season off pretty well. Elliot Lee as well is an attacking midfielder. He was one of the players that Wrexham brought in for high wages very early on in the ownership. Now, look, another bit of note that I've just touched on is that George Dobson is a very good player. And the central midfield and pairing of Ollie Rathbone and George Dobson, I think, will be really good. And when them two are in the midfield together, that's when you'll start to see Wrexham start to click. I'm hoping it doesn't start this Saturday. But yeah, I think with the 2 in midfield, that's one of the more stronger central midfield partnerships in the league. Now, talking about strong central midfield partnerships in League One, you've got to look at Reading, and you've got to say that the midfield is something that is a big strength of Reading at the moment. At the moment, Reading are playing Lewis Wing and Ben Elliott in the centre of midfield, and they've had an absolutely fantastic start to the season. Harvey Nibbs is missing at the moment, so in the attacking midfield position, we'll see someone who's familiar to Wrexham fans, Welsh international Charlie Savage. He'll probably start in that more advanced position in the midfield, while Ben Elliott and Lewis Wing will play alongside each other. Both of them will go forward, both of them will come back defensively, and I think they've formed a really, really good partnership, and I think the chemistry is very high between the two of them in central midfield. Reading obviously lost Femi Aziz just a couple of days ago, or yesterday, to Millwall, so he will not be involved at all. He has left the club for £1 million. We actually did a video with Chat with Chaps that will be left in the description down below, just talking to him about Femi Aziz. It was a nice little half an hour chat. We spoke about Reading's ownership and stuff like that as well, so I'll just leave that in the description. But yeah, Aziz is off, so he won't be playing. It looks as if Mamadi Kamara will continue to start for Reading. He's played the first 2 games to start the season on that right-hand side. Kelvin Ehebatchaman as well is someone that Wrexham will need to watch out for on that left-hand side. If he's on the left wing, he'll be coming up against James McLean, and I think Kelvin Ehebatchaman will absolutely have James McLean on toast. I think the skillfulness of Ehebatchaman will be really difficult for McLean to keep up with at left wing back. Look, I think realistically for me, I'm really confident about Reading at the moment. We've had a really good start to the season. We started the season with a 1-1 draw away at St Andrews against Birmingham, when realistically we should have came away with the victory. And then we defeated Wigan by 2-0 at the Select Carlisle Stadium last time. And look, for me, Reading should have maximum points, and something that's important is not just the result, but the performance in both of them games have been really strong from Reading. Now for this game, I'm actually going to end up with a Reading win. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win to the Royals. I know Wrexham carry a lot of attacking threat, so I could see this end up being 1-1. But I think Reading are going to come away with the 1-0 victory. I'm going to go with Sam Smith to get his first goal of the season and kick off his campaign with a goal here. And yeah, look, I'm really confident about Reading at the moment. I think the high press is really good for Reading. I think in this game there'll be a lot of space as well for the Royals. I don't know whether that's going to be out wide or whether that's going to be in the midfield. I think Reading are going to find a lot of space in this game, and I think they're going to show the quality that they possess in League One. I know Bolton couldn't get the victory last time out at home against Wrexham, but I think this will be something where Reading will come in and have a really strong performance and defeat Wrexham by 1-0. That's going to be it for this video today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. My name's been James, and we'll see you all again very soon. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.